What's up, everybody? This is Fred Ricciani of TSC Gaming, here to give you my thoughts on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. Back in the day, I loved this franchise. I was a huge Tony Hawk fan. When he hit that 900, I was like, oh my god, that's what skateboarders' dreams are made of. It was awesome. This game was so ahead of its time. The franchise was ahead of its time. So innovative, at times revolutionary. And today, unfortunately, it is the exact opposite. I got my hands on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 for PlayStation 4. Excited to finally play Tony Hawk on next gen, but unfortunately, this doesn't feel like a next gen game. So let's start with the positives, because unfortunately, there are a lot more negatives. The gameplay, not that hard. Not that hard to pick up and play, learn all the moves. If you want to get better at them like I did, play all the helpful tutorials. Now, in order to get really good, you got to keep practicing and practicing and practicing. And full disclosure, I am not a great Tony Hawk's Pro Skating gamer, at least not in this incarnation. But you know what? I had some fun playing that. There's a number of different modes. You complete a number of different levels, a variety of missions. You create your own park. You could even edit your own character. I mean, hell, I edited Tony Hawk to be, I don't know, Joe Cool, Bruno Mars looking bro. So that worked out for a little while. But there are a lot more negatives. How so? Well, first off, lack of content. Yeah, there are a number of parks. Yeah, there are a number of user-created parks. But here's the problem. The levels are small. Really small. These levels have so many freaking restrictions. They're tiny, and when you go somewhere you're not supposed to go, they'll say, oh, you know, don't get stuck in traffic, or oh, don't play in the sand, or play in the beach. And it's like, wait a minute. This is a next-gen game. Aren't these levels supposed to be big? You would think, but this game itself is tiny. I believe the actual file size of this game was a little over 4 gigs. They had a patch that was like 7 gigs. You combine that, give or take, that's about 11 gigs. And then you look at games like GTA, which are around 40 gigs. You look at the recently released Nathan Drake collection, that's freaking 44 gigs. I mean, my goodness gracious, this game is tiny by next-gen standards. And if you even think about just sports games, hell, I installed the NBA Live demo, and that was 23 gigs. Now, besides these small levels, besides the lack of content within the levels, there's the missions. And the missions are things like collecting ice cream cones and marshmallows, where your head gets big, do enough tricks so your head doesn't explode. And that's fine, but it's the same thing for every level, albeit slightly tweaked within that level. And that gets repetitive as hell. And on top of all that, there's the graphics. Aesthetically, this does not look like a next-gen game. Hell, if you compare screenshots of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD from the previous generation and this one, you might even be inclined to say that that one, the one from the previous generation, looked slightly better. And I wouldn't even mind, okay? I wouldn't even mind if the graphics weren't that great, if the gameplay offered enough redeeming qualities, and unfortunately, it does not. It just simply does not. On top of the poor graphics are the glitches, and I'm very lucky in a sense that I didn't experience too many, but I know a lot of people that lost their save files due to corruption or had various lagging and screen tearing, and I experienced that too, particularly on the player levels. Probably the most annoying glitch I had was falling through a freaking ramp and respawning underneath that ramp and not being able to escape that ramp, which is pretty freaking lame. And this might be a bit of a minor complaint, but there's so many advertisements everywhere for GoPro, for DC, I mean, you name it. It gets a little ridiculous. I know soccer games have sponsorships and NBA games and a lot of other games really in sports, but I felt like this was overbearing, and maybe I wouldn't notice it as much if the graphics didn't suck, if maybe they incorporated some of these sponsors like GoPro, where maybe they show you some alternate camera angles, show you some cool replays, but they don't even do that. Overall, I was supremely disappointed in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. This game just feels rushed. And maybe it's because there was a rumor that Activision's license with Tony Hawk expires this year. They just wanted to put it out. I don't know what the real story is, but the finished product is definitely subpar. Folks, I want to hear from you. Did you play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5? Did you skip it? Let me know. Leave a comment below. Tweet us at TSC Gamer. Facebook us, facebook.com/gamingtsc. You also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at Fred Ricciani. And please do not forget to subscribe to TSC Gaming for in-depth game reviews, news updates, and much, much more. So until next time, take care. Please like and share. And as always, enjoy the games.